Peak male existence is learning how to be lonely and learning how to love it, learning how to embrace it when it's necessary. You know, as a man who's working on themselves and trying to build a foundation, build a kingdom, trying to live more righteous, you find yourself having to cut off the people that you grew up with in the world. You find yourself cutting off women that you used to be with. Even family members had to become that sacrifice as well. You found yourself alone. You found yourself not getting as many texts or calls that you used to get. And then you go through the growing pains of that adaptation. You start to feel lonely, and then you get used to it. You get numb to it. You rewired your brain to it. You enjoy the peace, the tranquility, the quietness. Weeks, months, years, and then it's the next phase. Maybe this phase will come a little sooner for some. Maybe it'll be more prolonged. But you start to yearn for more company again. Most days throughout the week, throughout the month, most moments throughout your day, you don't even realize that you're by yourself. You're kind of just so busy tapping into doing the things that you know you need to do. You're busy in the gym, you're busy at work, you're busy focusing on your entrepreneur life. You're busy trying to pull people out the water, but then you find yourself, maybe it'll be the nighttime. For me, it's usually Friday nights where you feel very lonely. You feel by yourself. It's not like you wish that you was around the multitude, but you kind of wish that maybe you were around like-minded people. But a lot of times, a lot of us wish that we had our love life together. Men wish they had like their woman, their female, their confidant, their rib. But you also understand through this grinding phase that it takes time for everything. So you learn a lot of patience throughout the time. But there's moments where you fall short and you forget about the mindset that you should be in. And you find yourself being very lonely, down. And then you may find yourself actually realizing that you've been depressed this whole time, but you've been so busy to the point where you forgot about it. It's been suppressed. But those moments where you feel alone and you're by yourself, it all rushes back to the forefront. And then you find yourself being like, dang, maybe I am depressed. Or maybe this is my testimony. But then you remember like all the work you've put in and what it took to get to this point. So you start to embrace it once again. Then it's a cycle, grinding, locking in. You feel a little spurt of loneliness, and you snap yourself out of it. Then you snap yourself out of it. Then you snap yourself out of it. And then you go right back to grinding, you know, and you realize that peak male advancement, improvement is learning how to be lonely and be okay with it. You realize that you have no other choice but to just simply thug it out, simply push through. What else are you gonna do, give up? You know that's not an option. Learning how to be lonely is learning how to be independent. You have to be okay with the fact that if you were gonna be by yourself for the rest of your life in a world full of others, then how would you feel? Because you know that becoming dependent, growing dependent upon others, that's not the way either. Being a man is learning how to be lonely. Because we're the species that's truly lonely against our will, you know. You may even compare yourself to women, being like, it seems like they have it easier. They have their options when they're younger. But as a man, you don't have your options. You must grind and work. Your success breeds those options. But most men don't get their success till they're till they're older, late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And then you acquire women who are attracted to you because they're attracted to your success. It's DNA. It's not their fault, right? But you remember when they slept on you in the past, they didn't see you as valuable. They didn't know what to do with you when you were down and out, when your money was more so minimum wage or lower. And then when you become upper echelon, everybody wants to come back. Now you're visible now. And then you may grow contention in your heart, being like, they wasn't with me when I was down. Well, brother, they didn't know you when they was down. And the ones that did know you, they have to be left in the past. You remember the moments where you was lonely. A lot of men try to come back with a vengeance, but to the real men that's trying to live righteously, more righteously, you know, living life with vengeance towards others, that's not the way either. If anything, you'd have vengeance towards the self from your past. And you realize that the reason why your past self wasn't doing what he was doing was because you just simply didn't have the knowledge of, so you don't blame yourself. But you often think about the times that if you was thinking with the mindset that you have now back then, you realize that where would you be at? And peak male existence is learning how to be lonely and be okay with that. You know, you'll find yourself starting to attract things that you may want, things that you don't need. And you also attract the desires that God has for you. But as a man, you don't get by becoming dependent. The only entity that you should be dependent on is God. But that's a transactional. You get what you put out, you get what you put in. And you're going to reap what you sow, whether it's through righteousness, whether it's through sin. Being a man is learning how to be okay with being lonely. The epitome of manhood is actually very dark. And all you have to do is just thug it out. You're gonna see light if you don't give up. Don't be hedonistic. Don't be vain. The glory shall always come to God. And you should always remember those moments where you were lonely, when you were starting your journey, and compare that to where you are now, and be appreciative that God gave you breath to continue to live this life. And just remain gracious that you kept going. The moments where you felt like you couldn't go, and now look at you. On my run this morning that I went on, there's one of those runs where I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Fast forward to now, I'm talking about how I did it, and then some. Male solitude and loneliness should be embraced. It's one of the ultimate skills that you can master, so you don't have to depend on things of this world to make you feel satisfied, seen, or viewed. Peak male advancement, self-improvement, is learning how to become lonely and be okay with it.